other day I saw you and 8-Bit Eric were getting into it. What caused
I
all
hate
that?
this guy. I hate this guy. All right. So when I was on Twitter one day, finding my guy to laugh at for the day. All right. I saw that this girl, Alyssa Mercante, had a thread about him. And she posted a thread of him saying the weirdest stuff to this girl, saying that, yeah, Alyssa Mercante, she's not even that hot. I'd look at her butthole and she's not even like, how can I? So he was just saying a bunch of creepy stuff. Like, there's a whole thread of it. Like,
Yeah,
she's not
giving
sexy.
off the creepy uncle vibes.
I mean, yeah, she's not even that sexy. Like, I don't even get that hard watching her. Like, it's just a bunch of weirdo things, and he's calling it roasting. So whenever I see that, I think you're like an incel loser. So obviously, I'm gonna bring it up and talk about it. So I watched that. I watched the thread, or I was going through all the clicks, the thread, right? And then the next day, he puts out a video defending it because he's like, "Oh, she's trying to cancel me." And then he puts out this video in which she knocked down. Which, by the way, I don't agree with Alyssa Mercante and what she does, and I don't agree with flagging. So that part, it was literally just to clown him for being a creep. That was all. So then he puts out this clip, or he puts out this video, and in the video he's like, I don't even find you sexually attractive, so how can I sexually harass you? And I just think that statement is funny, so I made like a tile card with that like quote. I just thought it was funny. So I tweeted it, and he finds it. So he must be just searching his name because I didn't tag him in it. I just posted it, and it was like, oh, happy Thanksgiving for wise words for around the dinner table. If I don't find you sexually harassed, or if I don't find you sexual, I can't sexually harass. He finds it. Dude. He's like, oh, I didn't sexually harass anybody. I'm like, brother, I'm not saying, I'm laughing at you for being a freak. I'm not saying you do anything. He's like, I did not sexually harass anybody.
Yeah.
Just kept getting
actually,
mad about it. And
you're too ugly to ever assault. So.
Yeah. And then he was like, first he said, oh, I didn't say that, but if I did, it's based. I'm like, what?
Wait, what?
What do you mean you didn't say it? What are you talking about? And
I didn't say that, but if I did, it was correct.
Yeah, and then I sent it to him, or I sent him like, brother, like I said something, and then I sent the video of the clip of him saying it, and this was his sober rebuttal, he calls, because he was drunk talking all that nonsense.
I did see a clip of him being drunk, yeah.
And that's when he was talking about, oh, I look in her butthole, and I saw her in her panties and bra, and she was like, oh God, I used to think she was so sexy. Like, it's just weird. And then he posted that. And I'm like, you said this when you were sober. He's like, oh, you're mixing up me being drunk and sober rebuttal. I'm like, I'm not. I'm laughing at you. So I'm laughing at what you said. I'm not mixing anything up. I'm just laughing at what you said. That's all. He's like, I did not sexually harass anybody. I'm like, okay.
Oh, guys, like Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So I thought it was funny and just talked about it again. But then I started watching what this dude does. And the takes he has on games, and the fact that I remember he was going on, like, he loves Melanie Mac. Like, I was like, oh, this dude. Yeah, he like loves Melanie Mac. He like, she put out a Grand Theft Auto video about 6 crying about it, and then he does the same thing too, like couple hours afterwards. I'm like, oh, dude, this guy is obsessed with her, and I've been just laughing at all the people like mauling over this stupid game that's not even out. That I've just been having a great time laughing at them all. Like, Andy Pants Gaming had a terrible take on the game.
Andy Pants Gaming is another, like, I think he's the worst, because even like Heel Face Baby, the guy who, do you remember the clip of the guy being like, pronouns, current modern day gaming? That guy was like, yo, Andy Pants, don't be fucking taking people's videos down.
Yeah, and then he lost debate to Ackman. And then he tried to flag him, or you flagged him or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're ultra cool, like anti woke against the liberal media trying to silence you, but like you're literally trying to silence someone because they don't agree with you. That was the thing I took away from his debate with Actman, because like, you know how like in 2016. Like, you would have like SJWs who would say, it's not enough that you're not racist, you have to be anti-racist. Yeah. He was basically saying the same thing, but for wokeness. It's like, it's not enough that you're not woke, you have to be anti-woke. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
brother.
and you should see like these Grand Theft Auto takes. Like the one Andy Pants had that he just put out was
Mhm.
like, because I watched it, and I'm like, this is pathetic. I'm gonna break it down. So I broke it, and so he was like, oh yeah, by all the design or the producers of the game are all gone. I'm like, or the designers or whatever they're called, programmers. I couldn't think of it. They're all going away or whatever. I look it up. They're not even announced. So that's why he never talked about them. You're just making things up at this point. That's not true. And
Yeah.
then he's like, well, look it. They took a picture out of the game in the background. I'm like, okay, but who would even have noticed this in the store? Some obscure picture in the background changed, and it was just something. And then he shows, he was like, even like in 2022, they changed this. He shows a post from 9 years ago. He's making it out like they just changed it 2 years ago, when it
Mhm.
literally shows the Reddit post from 9 years 9 years old. It said 9Y.
Yeah. And
And he's
now,
like, in 2022, they just did this. I'm like, yo, you're
yeah.
not even looking at what you're posting.
Now with
And then this idiot, oh, go
oh,
ahead. Go ahead.
with Andy Pan's Gaming, he gets a majority of his opinions from his fan base. He doesn't do any of the research himself. What he does is he has his fans send him a bunch of stuff, and then he talks about it in videos.
Jesus Christ. I see that. I see it now because they're not even talking. And now this idiot right here, 8-Bit Eric, puts out this GTA 6 gone woke. And
It's
this
not
is
even
about
out yet.
they're only, by the way, they're only going off of the trailer. That was a minute and a half, right?
And the trailer was like a good promo, but like we can't really judge the game until we see like gameplay of it, you know?
You don't even know who's working on it, and they're just
Yeah.
assuming that who's working or what they're doing. This video right here, this has to deal with the fact that they took a corporate course on like unconscious bias or something like that.
And like
That
if you
could
work,
be anything. That could just be a company thing. Have you ever worked for a company and they make you take like a sexual assault?
yeah, where it's like, listen, grabbing your coworker's butt is bad.
Right. And then the person in there like commented on my video and was like, yeah, I took that same thing for my job. It's like I'm like, this is what I thought. They were just assuming. And by the way, there's 2,000 plus people that work for this company. Only 60 of them took it. And he shows a video. It was the art department. Oh yeah, because they have so much say in the gameplay. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I hate these people, bro.
You better not be making fun of Smashing JT. That's my job. Oh, Smashing JT is another funny one. He was in.
I know.
He was in a hot tub crying about George Floyd's death, and it's just like, do you not see the irony?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yes, there's a clip of it.
My God.
Hang on. Bo Blacks used to archive it. Let me see if he has it still. There's a clip of
And
him.
then 8-Bit Eric will smash JT off, by the way. Like, he loves him. So now I make fun of him that. He's just like a hotbed to get the clown. Like, everything about him, to his voice,
Dude.
to his takes, are just terrible.
Smash JT has been fucking weird recently because he's like, he thinks the way to save Spider-Man 2 is by making a mod where like MJ has big tits. It's like that's not the issue with Spider-Man 2. The issue with Spider-Man 2 is that there's no fucking DLC. The game that is there, there's barely 20 hours.
Listen, I had to be reminded that there was a gay parade or a gay prom. All right. How inconsequential this part of the game was. I had to be I played it. I had to be reminded that it was even in there. That's how unimportant it is. And he was like, yeah, I remember when she was part of taking down the list of the DEI in games. Oh, I mean, you mean the Steam list that had 4 games and 2 of them in total only ever got played? Every other game on there was nothing. So you made a whole crybaby list to make sure there was no trans people in there? Like, what? You guys are sick. And I'll never understand it. I'll never understand crying about a video game because there's gay people in it. I'll never get it. I just don't care. If it's good, I'll play it. If it's not, I'm not. That's
Exactly.
it.
Like I think because like they're equating like the fact that there's a gay person in the game, the reason why it's bad. No, the reason why the game's bad is because the gameplay sucks or like the story sucks. Like if you want to fix stuff in gaming, one, the writing has to be better. It's because like you can have a gay person in your show, your movie, your game, whatever, right? And it can be done super well because the writing's fantastic. Like obviously, like I like because like I don't know, I'm more of like might sound a bit soy, but like I'm more of like a centrist when it comes to like the woke, anti-woke stuff, because like I believe there are instances where it's like, okay, they're clearly like shoving it in your face, like the
Yeah.
progressiveness, right? But it's like literally like oh my god, Miles Morales, he's black and Hispanic, he's not Spider-Man. And it's like, what? But like that, you see, that's where that's where it activates my tism, because like I'm a comic book nerd. I'm just like, wait, hang on, like do you know
Hasn't he always been?
like, yeah, he's always been Spider-Man. You know, there are like 5 different Flashes who all operate
Yeah.
at like the same time. Guess what? They're all the Flash.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm not on either side. There's definitely games that force it, and there's games that y'all try to force. And I operate in the center and laugh at them both. That's all I ever do. I don't jump to a side because I'm not full on. Yeah, you know what? I understand that there's forcing, and I also understand that when something is more accepted, they will add more of it. They're back in the 50s when being black was terrible. They weren't going to add a bunch of black movies and black this when you couldn't even drink out of the same water fountain.
And when they did, it was super racist.
yeah. When it's acceptable, then they add more of it. But sometimes it's forced. I understand that. But to cry at every turn, we're getting to a point where we are saying a game is done off of a minute and a half of it. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5, I felt like it took 3 days to download the first time. Okay. So
Right.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably going to be pretty big. And I think it has more than a minute and a half worth of gameplay in it. So I don't know how you can judge. I look at this and I just see they're like, oh, they're not even like Andy Pants literally said, if they do not make fun of gay people, like I swear, if they don't kill a Jew or a gay person within 2 seconds, it's woke.
Yeah,
they have to assassinate the whole race in the first opening credit.
It's gotten to the point now where it's like, oh, there's a black woman in the game? Woke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh my God, this black, like, side scrollers is where it all started for me, right?
Yeah,
I started clowning the side scrollers because they were doing the same thing too. And they said the Grand Theft Auto 6 thing. They were like, oh, well, yeah, they're probably going to go. I'm like, because there's black people in Miami, Florida. Oh, no.
Whoa, you serious? You serious
people? Right? Wait, what? In Miami? Wait, they're not all white?
You're telling me that you're playing as a Latino? Woke, forgetting the fact that one of the greatest GTA games of all time, you play as a black guy. Like, CJ, does anyone remember that guy?
Yeah, right. But that was all fine. But now that you're in Miami playing as a Latino and a Latino, like, dog, y'all are taking this too far. Yeah. And it's you could see it's such a grift. And I laugh.
Dude, I remember like people were making theories that one of the protagonists is going to be trans. Like, why? Why do you think that?
And dead wrong. You were dead wrong.
Yeah.
Dead wrong. It's a couple of Bonnie and Clyde in Miami. That's it. That's all. For what we know, that could be a whole separate story. I don't know. We don't know anything. That's the problem. And y'all are, please, Vincent, you've done yourself great. Side scrollers is perfect people to give up on. They're trash. All right.
Yeah.
I hate them with the passion, but they haven't had too much gold lately, so I've left them alone.
I'm just excited because like Vice City on the PS2, at least aesthetic wise, I think it looks pretty good still. Like obviously when you get into like the character models, it looks a bit janky, but like I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with it. With what will then be modern day graphics, right? Because like I can't wait to see like what the nighttime's gonna look like with like the neon and everything. Like I'm super excited to see how visually the game's gonna look. I just like you're still gonna be a criminal. You're still gonna like go on like murderous rampages. Like it looks like it's
what
still
do
gonna
they
be
expect?
GTA. Yeah.
Do they think there's gonna be like no cops? The cops are gonna work with they defunded the police in it.
Yeah. There's actually no wanted level because there was no police.
Yeah, and when they check at the 6-star level, they send a mental health expert out to you, make sure you're all right.
Yeah,
like, what do you honestly
trans,
think that Grand Theft? They have not put out a game since 2013.
No, Red Dead Redemption 2.
No, I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto. They haven't put out a game.
Yeah. Not since 2013. I was in fifth grade when the fifth one came out. Holy shit, I'm old.
Jesus, I remember. 2013. I had my first daughter. My first child was born. Yeah. You're gonna tell me that Grand Theft Auto 6 they're just gonna completely 180 at the first time ever, and there's gonna be nothing.
Right.
That's what you think is really good. Like, let's be honest here. Like, let's just look at the facts. They have because one person that worked on it has left. That doesn't mean it's woke. It doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. It might not be as good as 5. Who knows? But I'm saying it's not going to just remove everything that you loved out of nowhere. All right, we're getting rid of killing. You
Right.
can't even drive a car anymore. Like, oh, obviously it has to stay. And if you can kill anybody in the game, then how can it go on woke?
Right. It's
I just don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. So I clown them all. Every one of them that cry about this game off of a minute and a half is just easy picking. But
Well,
I've been go ahead.
oh, so it's just weird. It's like Dragon the new Dragon Age game. It's called Veilguard, right?
Mhm.
Now, like I have some friends who like the game. Apparently the Ackman doesn't like it for gameplay purposes, but like for Andy Pants Gaming, a guy who's supposedly married, right? Like for him,
Mm.
why do all the men like why are you so fixated on like men being big and muscular for
Big
you?
and busk.
Yeah, big and muscular. He wants some manly men, you know what I mean? Also too, like I'm a Christian, but all like he's like I'm a Christian, but also too every woman who I see in the video game has to be sexualized to my interest.
That's why I love it. I'm like, okay, so you people you're weird to me. Like,
Mhm.
so you are like looking at these girls as attractive to me. And to me, the fact that you're openly saying that is weird to me because I play a game and I'm not like, oh man, I'm not playing this game unless she is extremely sexual. It's
Yeah.
just not me. I'm not attracted to pixels like you guys, I guess. I don't know. Don't look at it and be like, oh yeah, I'm not playing this game because she's not attractive. I don't care. I loved The Last of Us 2 because I like The Last of Us 1. I don't care that there was a trans girl in it or whatever. I
Mhm.
saw it. I was like, Jesus Christ, she's big. That was the end of it. That was it. I'm like, oh God, she's cock diesel. That's all I said, and we just kept pushing it. I
Mhm.
don't need them to be attractive. I don't care about that. I'm not looking. I don't find them. I can't say I look at. Oh, yeah, I like this character. She's attractive. And to me, it's just I don't move like that. I just want the game to be good. All right. So if they all look the same, I just want it to be good. I
Yeah.
don't want to. I don't want to waste my money. The games are too expensive to waste my money. That's all.
Oh, I feel that. I
$75,
feel
70.
that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't care. Like, oh, I can't pick up the game. The gameplay is impeccable, but the girl in there, she's got an A cup instead of a D, so I can't play it.
Yeah.
What?
It's like wait, because like these are the same guys who like say that the woke, aka like the left, right? They're obsessed with sex, like they're the ones bringing sex into the media. But it's like at any time that there's like a vaguely like average looking woman in a game, you fucking riot.
Yeah. Oh, she wasn't trans. I thought she was
No,
trans.
she was
Oh, this
just
whole
very
time. And then
muscular. She was just very muscular. She had her protein. She hoarded
I,
all the protein
oh,
shakes from.
I thought she was trans this whole time. That's how.
No,
Okay. Well
no,
then.
she
Oh well, my
she
bad.
just
She
built.
was just big. Oh, okay, all right, my bad. Okay, well, I thought she was trans. My bad. Anyways, it didn't matter. My point was,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still was playing the game. I know people hated the game, but I liked it. I ain't have a problem with it.
Yeah, like
And then
people
they were like, "Oh, they made what's the dude
God
in
of
God of War,
War.
the big dude?
Yeah,
They what's his name in it? The
Kratos,
big dude.
Kratos.
Kratos. They made Kratos soy.
It's like no,
First
he's
of
not.
all,
If like he's like the most manly man out of that whole series. Like, what do you mean?
she was slashing. He was doing the same thing he's been doing. What? Because in the beginning of the first one, when he wasn't smashing two girls and you could play a little creepy mini game doing it. Why? Because now all of a sudden he had a kid and grew up. I don't know. I just didn't understand because nothing really changed to me
Mhm.
besides that. What do you mean? And I
Like
find out it's because of that sweet water. What was it? What's it
Sweet
called?
Baby Inc.
Yeah, that one. I said the name all wrong, so I don't even remember the real
Oh
one.
God, yeah.
Because they put their game. It was like they were. Oh my. Okay, so now because they had some saying it, which I don't even know what they did because I love that game too.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite ones.
I think
To be
the
honest.
most they did was they advise. That was it.
And then that should be clear indication that they don't really change a lot. Because that game, did you like the game? I loved it.
Dude, it's one of the best
Ragnarok?
PS5 games.
Exactly. I thought it was great. I played it. Me and my son played it. He would sit down and watch it, like watch me play it. We loved it.
The DLC was phenomenal too.
Everything. Yeah, everything. So if this company that's supposed to be ruining life touched this game or advised in it, and this was what? You were still hacking them to pieces, right?
Oh,
you were cutting them up. You were doing all what you say that won't happen if they're around. I don't know. It's just y'all. They ruined one game and y'all just assume that they're gonna do it to everything. They might in a game y'all never were gonna play.
Yeah.
That Concord or whatever. You were never playing that.
Oh, Concord.
So I know
like Concord had its own separate because like this is the thing. Like you know Apex Legends, right?
Yeah.
There's like one cis white guy in that entire game, but guess what? That game was popular for years. It's not the wokeness. It's the gameplay that people really like. People weren't vibing with Concord's gameplay. That's why they shut it down twice. Marvel Rivals just came out. From what I understand, it's semi people by their definition it's woke, but like it has 500,000 players right now. Now that might drop off soon. Who knows? But like people are playing it.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
It's like you're focused on a game. If it's not like a story based one, obviously, but like your focus on a game should be the gameplay and not the fact that there's a transgendered black woman in there, you know.
The pronouns thing. When he screamed about the pronouns, I didn't play the game, so I had to ask my people the question. I'm like, listen, when you're playing this game, are they constantly asking you about the pronouns? They're like, no. I'm like, does it come up anywhere past the home screen? They're like, no. And I'm like, does that mean if you choose a pronoun, you get a secret ability or something? They're like, no.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so let me get this straight. He's screaming about this just because when you're in character creation, it says the word pronoun. Like, yeah, pretty much.
Also, like when because before the pronoun screen, you do choose a gender. You choose like male or female, and based off that gender you choose, it auto pre-selects your pronoun. So like literally, it's just there for the people who want to change it because it's a role playing game. Like people don't realize that.
Screamed about it.
It's a role playing game. You choose. You role play a character. That's why like everyone was like, "Oh my god, you can make yourself a trans man in Dragon Age Vanguard. You can cut off your titties." And I was like, "It's a role playing game. It's literally based off of D&D. What the fuck you want them to do? Take away creative liberty?"
Yeah. These people. What happened? Just worry about the game. But I get it. Like you won't have content to grift, obviously, if you worry about just the gameplay. You have to worry about if it's going to ruin because of woke people you don't like. Like this, and then it's like 8-Bit Eric does it the worst. Like everyone else can do it, and they see the popularity, but he comes and he just hears it secondhand and repeats it and regurgitates it, and it's just like. He does it the dumbest down way.
Yeah. Well, he had to find something after the Richwell ran dry.
Richwell. Yeah. After the Richwell.
I felt slimy during that whole situation. I thought I was grifting, but nah.